Good evening, everyone. I thought that I was live. I actually thought I was live. Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to a weekly dose of Lady J. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I was playing my introduction, jamming to myself, thought I was live, and see that I was not. So y'all missed that wonderful Jill Scott. It's been a long day. That is so funny. Nobody texted me and said anything. I didn't get a text from my sister, nothing to say, just Sarah, what's going on? But it's okay. It's okay. Y'all missed it. So, welcome to Weekly Dose of Lady J. I'm so excited about tonight. I have my sister friend, my girlfriend. Not only is she a professional, she is an artist. She is oh my God, I'm on fire. I've been thinking about tonight, thinking about this moment, thinking about our conversation. I know that she is probably nervous and on edge because she just doesn't know what's going to happen about tonight. I'm promising her that I'm going to be good and promising her that I'm going to navigate this conversation the best of my ability. But I'm going to be me at the same time, and we're going to have a good time. But we're going to also do our best to educate you all about a topic that I think is near and dear to both of us. I think something that we both have in common. And I certainly don't want to belabor the hour. I want to get her on here as quick as possible, but I want to know how y'all doing. How are y'all doing? Give me some love. Tell me how y'all doing. Send me some hellos real quick. How's everybody doing? Why didn't y'all text me and tell me that y'all didn't hear Jill Scott? What is the problem? Y'all was supposed to text me and say, Sarah, we didn't hear the intro. I'm thinking I'm over here jamming and nobody is saying nothing. Listen, like, share, pass the word. Like, share, pass the word. Hashtag weekly dose of Lady J to live out love for the intellectual. Hashtag Miss Cayenne. Healing in the pen. She's going to give her other hashtag, gift of poetry, cathartic writing. Let me give her introduction and we're going to bring her right on. She's an author, a performer, facilitator, and entrepreneur. Dynasa Thomas, also AKA Miss Cayenne, loves all things artsy. She's a native of Queens, New York, born to African-American mother and West African father, rich in diverse and rich cultural background. She is all of that. Hey, sis. Hey, you thought I got a late start? No, I didn't get off to a late start. I started right at 8:30. You should have texted me, but it's okay. I love you. Let me get back to the introduction. She is rich and diverse in all things cultural. She is a bad mama. She's an owner of Cayenne Inc., Healing in the Pen LLC, a creative arts agency. I'm going to let her tell you more about that. She just recently started a nonprofit organization, the Ink Well. It's been about a year and a half now. I'm going to let her tell you more about that. She is also an owner of her own clothing store. I'm going to let her tell you more about that. She has it going on. I'm going to bring her on. Without further ado, here she is, Miss Cayenne, to the platform. Hey, good evening, Miss Cayenne.
Hey.
Hey, what's up? I'm so sorry about Jill Scott.
Yeah, I was over here jamming too. It was hot. It was fire. I was enjoying it. They just missed it. We had our own jam party.
I'm so mad.
Yeah, that was unfortunate because it was pretty nice to listen to her
Oh my
Get
God,
that
I'm so mad. Anyway, oh, I forgot to mention you're living in DC right now,
yes.
where all the stuff is happening.
Yes.
Everything is pop. Well, literally, all the stuff, and your president.
No, that's your president. I don't. That's your president.
Well, I'm not gonna turn this into a political
Yeah, let's not do it.
show tonight.
I
For the
just got
sake
to
of
have
all
a.
things holy and righteous, I won't do that tonight.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. I just had a deep debate. Well, a discussion around the Kanye West and Trump. So I was like, I don't want to go there again. I already did that earlier today.
Oh, really? Can you give
Yeah.
me a little?
Well, it was a snippet. It was a snippet of D.L. Hughley and his response and description and feeling
Oh, I
about.
missed that. What'd he say?
Oh, he said a whole mouthful of things. He called Mr. West all kinds of names and things of nature, but basically he felt he wasn't a good person. I'll just summarize it like that. But and so I was having a discussion with another person around my perspective as it pertains to mental health and as it pertains to our public declaration of opinions and what do you call it? Character slaying. State your point.
Yes.
I don't like this about this person. I don't like how they handled that thing. I wouldn't have done it that way. You can state your point, your facts, or what have you, and let it be. But I take issue with the grimy part of what Hugo Regular had to say. So I don't want to go back to that conversation. It was kind of
All right. I won't take you back there. I won't take you back. I won't take you back. Yeah, I won't take you back there.
We'll talk offline. We'll talk offline.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Can we talk about a couple of things? First of all, can we talk about that hot picture in the back? Is that Michael Jackson?
Is that who?
Michael Jackson. Who is that in the back?
You know what? I associated it with Prince. I don't.
Oh, is it Prince?
That's who I call it. But he didn't. The artist did not give it a name. This piece of work, LW Arts. LW Arts. Look him up on Facebook. LW Arts. You can look him up. This gentleman is a visual artist all over DC. A lot of the places have closed and they have boards in the windows and things like that. We were in a pandemic. A lot of things were closed down. He was contracted to really just beautify the city with art instead of looking at boards or closed windows for restaurants and establishments. You will find this gentleman's work all over the district, just kind of promoting we're in it together, promoting peace, promoting some level of joy during this pandemic. He came to one of my events and was a live artist. And this was the product of him painting in the moment at one of my open mic events.
Wow.
Yeah. So he never gave it a name, but to me, it looked like Prince. So that's who I call him.
Okay. I can see that. I guess it's a cross between Prince and Michael Jackson and me.
Yeah,
I can see why you said Prince, but then this looks like Michael.
You're right. I never put the two together, but you're right. That's called what do you call it? Michael Prince. I don't know. We got to think of a combo name.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So we've been friends for 20 years.
Has it been 20? Yeah. It's 20 years? Well, let me think, Sarah. Hold on. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a grip. Wow.
We were thin. Well, you're still thin.
No, we were thinner.
I'm becoming thinner again.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm trying.
But it's been 20 years. It's been 20 years since, it's been 20 years. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That's a privilege to have somebody in your life that long as a friend. That's every year people talking about cutting people off. I'm cutting.
No, I'm not cutting you off. We've had some times, but I love you to pieces. Oh my God. I do. Yeah. No. We're friends. We are friends. Wow, it's been 20 years.
Yeah.
But why don't you tell us, first of all, tell us about your story. Tell us who you are first. Tell the audience who I know who you are, but tell us who you are.
Wow, that's a loaded question. Tell you who I am or tell you my story?
Well, I want you to tell us your story as it pertains to what brought you into the world of poetry
Okay.
and cathartic writing, and how it ties to grief and loss. Because I don't think a lot of people know your story, the story of, the loss of your mom. Like I said, I do. I know you, but not a lot of people know your story.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. In preparing to have this conversation, um, there's so many layers of loss. There's so many layers to my story, if you will, to my life. And I realize whenever asked to kind of share some of these things, it's usually still abbreviated. Even when I'm expounding, it's still abbreviated because there's so many layers. And even thinking about tonight, I realized there were some other things that I had not articulated before.
Okay.
Um, so what I'll do is this: I'll share. You asked an excellent question. The connection between, you know, my connection between poetry and my story. Um, I I have a phrase that I say, or that is found sometimes in my bio, that says poetry is my friend, my catharsis, my gift to the world. And I often say that poetry literally saved my life. Why
Hmm.
I say that is because from an early age, from a very, very early age, like probably 3, 4, I became what I call well acquainted with loss. So, as you mentioned in the bio, I'm born in Queens, New York. So my mother's side, we're from Brooklyn and Queens. And while still living in Queens, my mom, a single mom, um, had 2 children. Right, she had a son and a daughter. I'm the oldest, and we were living in a duplex or what have you. Not not don't have a lot of money, welfare type of thing. And in this course of time, my brother was removed from our home ultimately,
Mm-hmm.
and placed in the foster care system. And the end result, it was a period of time, but the end result was removed permanently and adopted out without an opportunity for closure. We were we were not allowed to communicate anymore, and vice versa, even though we had already set up a plan for kin care. My grandmother was
Okay.
trying to take him, and
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of dirty at the end of the day. It was a very dirty move. And at the end of the day, early in the game, I remember losing my little brother. I was old enough
Mm.
to know what was happening. I was old enough to have a relationship with him. I was old enough to love him with all my heart, right? And losing him, no longer being there. And so I literally, because I was reflecting, there's my brother who was lost in the sense, right? Removed from our
Right.
home. We were evicted from that one room apartment. It was literally just a room we were renting. We were evicted. When I say evicted,
Wow.
you ever walk down the street and see people's belongings on the street?
Yeah.
Yeah. Coming home as a little kid, and my favorite toys, all my little toys are on the lawn,
Wow.
and my mother and I walk away and leave it there. And as a kid, all I know is, wait, we're leaving all that matters to me, all that I have, all that we have, loss. Um, uh, Moving on, and moving, having to move, from a place that was semi-familiar. Then moving again, my mother passed away suddenly at the age of 11 or 12, when I was 11 or 12, suddenly, right? So now I am being raised by grandmother, father not in the picture, lost. Father not in the picture, lost. Mother gone, lost. Moved again in an environment that I'm unfamiliar with. Now I'm really, really grieving, and I'm going through those processes of anger and denial and all of these things. in a home with a grandmother who, of course, loves me, but is also grieving the loss of her daughter, right?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So, and who's a grandmother, a different generation, and a Black woman
Right.
who has been married and divorced twice, and he decided years ago, I will handle my life alone and handle my business. So therefore, you ain't gonna cry, you ain't gonna go to no therapist, you gonna suck it up, and you're gonna keep
Right.
living, because we don't go to therapists, right? We don't
Right.
take business. We don't talk too much to the person next to us either about our business, because African Americans, we handle our business, right? We
Right.
don't. So loss in that my grandmother's grieving, she's trying, but she's also grieving. So there's a lack of connection for me, and she's unable to connect me to what I need, because you're not gonna break down. We're not gonna have that. And so
Right.
I left as a kid, to try to figure out how to process these things. And again, my grandmother of a different generation, so we're not going to a therapist. I remember breaking down one day at church, just boo-hooing. I was sad. I was just depressed. I was overwhelmed, and got chastised for having that moment, because and publicly having that moment
Really?
publicly.
Yeah.
I got chastised for that. We don't do that. And so
Yeah.
once I have an outlet, no, there's no outlet for me. I'm angry. I'm getting in trouble in school. I'm confused. I'm suicidal. I remember sitting in my closet, just not wanting to feel the pain of what I
Yeah.
was feeling any longer, and taking a plastic bag and trying to literally suffocate myself. Right in my grandmother's house, right in the presence of, she was there. She don't know, so just not having an outlet. And you're not allowed to be angry. I remember getting into fights because I'm a kid. This coming out. I'm fighting people. So here's where poetry and writing, I should say, really came into the picture. I was exposed to writing far before my mother passed away. But here's where it really became alive for me, because it was either get suspended from school, find yourself teenage pregnancy. It was either getting into those things, because I was very much susceptible to that, or having an outlet that was quietly mine. In my journal, I could cuss you out, right? In my journal, I could say that I was angry and not feel guilty for being angry. In my journal, I can tell God, I don't like what you've done, and I'm angry at you. Because I come from a religious or a Christian family. You certainly don't question God. You better not call yourself being angry with God. All things purpose with God, even this pain. So I could say to God in my journal, this sucks, and why did you do this to me? And not have any judgment, not be struck down, and maybe live another day. Because
Why
now
do you
I'm
think you could do that? I'm sorry. It's why do you
good.
think you could say that you were angry and why do you think you had such freedom to do that in your journal?
Because it was personal to me. It was hidden. It was my secret. No one's reading my journal. No one's requiring it of me. It's inanimate in that if I say it aloud, I'm going to get chastised. I'm going to get scolded. Maybe I'll get struck down by lightning, because God doesn't like that. That's what you're learning as a kid. That's how you understand that. But in my journal, that's kept private to me. It's mine, and it's my confidant, like a best friend. Like I said, poetry is my friend, my catharsis. It's a best friend that knows how to keep a secret, and while keeping a secret, the best friend also knows how to hear what you have to say and not judge you and still love you. That's what my journal was for me.
Wow. So you really presented as a person, and you're making me think about it differently, because I'm thinking about my clients, and I'm thinking of one in particular and I want you to hold your pen there. Don't lose where you are. Okay.
Sure.
Um, I'm thinking about when I was in a session and I was trying to convince one of my clients to write, because I believe, as you believe, with regards to the power in being able to empty it, right? To get it out, to be able to say it, to be able to share it, to put it on paper, to be able there's something about this is mine, the sacredness of it, right? But their response to me was somebody might see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you respond to that? Because you were a child,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
the other piece to that is, and they were in foster care. They are in foster care.
Yeah.
I don't have any privacy,
Yes. Yes.
right? So how do you guard that in such a way that you can, because I agree, but how do you protect that?
Yeah. That is very precarious. I come in contact with a lot of young people who are in that same position. They have no privacy. Nothing is their own. They have very little control. Um, and that can be, that is a risk, right? That even I was taking, because it's not like it's a safe deposit box or something.
Right.
So it definitely is a risk. And so there's no simple answer to how to guarantee that young person to be able to independently totally safeguard. But herein lies where advocates and workers and helpers, I think, come into play, not only to advocate, hey, this is an outlet for you, but figuring out ways to partner where possible with that person to give them that safe space.
Okay.
Um, and that may look differently. It may mean, hey, uh, when you have your session, here's your journal. It stays here. You know that when you come here, I'm not looked at it. It's safe. I don't know what it looks like. It may mean something that extreme, or it
Okay.
may mean, something like, again, a worker partnering and figuring out creatively a way so that that person has the outlet, that they have it. Give them the space, and then partnering with them to give them the security of saying, this is protected.
Okay.
And
But you
until
were able to, you had that space. I just want to make sure I don't want you to lose where you were. I just wanted to,
sure.
because if someone is listening and that comes up, because you were able to make that happen. And not everybody that's listening, or they may know of people who may not have that or be able to take that risk in the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't, it wasn't very formal in that, I had this space. That's just where I was. I didn't have another little sister or brother running around going through my
Yeah.
things.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
my grandmother wasn't necessarily, oh my,
Yeah.
going through my things or stuff like that. So there wasn't, now if I took my journal to school, my book bag, yeah, I'm a little extra tense because that's a little different environment, right? So
Right.
yeah, yeah. Um, but therein lied my outlet, because I could say what I was really feeling.
Yeah.
You have to understand, growing up in a home where, again, it wasn't malicious, but that was a serious generational difference for my grandmother and myself, and then my
Yeah.
grandmother's own story and what she endured.
Yeah.
uh, I can see it now, but as a child, you don't understand, why are you so seemingly hard? Why can't I
Mm.
have this demonstration of affection? And so I was just raised to handle your business. You understand? Be an independent woman. Don't lose your cool. You know what I'm saying? Don't lose your cool points. And
Right.
I still walk in that kind of mindset. So my journal, I can lose my cool points. I could put it all out there
Yeah.
and keep my keep my
Right. 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 So writing poetry became a friend, became your best friend, somebody that you could depend on, somebody that you knew was there no matter what.
yeah. It became just that. I started off, I believe, like I said, journaling and just writing, what I was feeling, and then
Yeah.
that morphed into other things by way of the school system I was a part of. My school system at that time, I lived in the Midwest at that time. Well, at a time, there was a time I lived in the Midwest, and the school system really promoted the arts. So over time, writing poetically or creatively, right,
Yeah.
was something that my journal entries morphed into, because I naturally was that kind of a thinker and writer.
Right. 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 Right.
And my mother was a writer, so she exposed me to words. She,
Right.
she
Right.
exposed me to the dictionary.
Yes. 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 Yes.
And so
Yes.
I was always a lover of words, but again, her passing and the other things that I already contended with prior to that laid a foundation for me to have an outlet in the form of writing. Yes, most
Can
definitely.
you explain the word catharsis?
Yeah, sure. In my mind, in my operational definition, right, of a catharsis is a release, and this is my definition, and how I like to view it. I'm not saying it's Webster's definition, but it's more of a, for me, it's a release that, I like to call it like a deluge or flood of the water that comes, from a waterfall or what have you. I use that analogy because when you spend so much energy trying to keep it together, trying to keep the dam from breaking, trying to make sure the tears do not fall while people are watching, uh, the writing creates a space for the flow
Mm.
without hindrance, without bondage, without judgment. It creates a space for the flow, and catharsis for me is the flow, the breaking, the release of emotion. That can be happiness, that can be sadness, it can just the flow of that emotion, uninhibited, uninhibited. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love it. I love it. Uninhibited. Uninhibited. Wow.
yeah,
Wow. 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 And I one of the things that I've gleaned from you and down through the years is that I feel that this whole notion of cathartic writing is
yeah.
not just writing for you.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in the midst of people who write, right? But for you it's writing. It's cathartic writing, right?
Yeah,
Can you kind of explain what I mean? I know what I mean, but can you explain what I mean to the
yeah, right.
to the audience?
Sure, sure. You're absolutely correct. Here's the thing, and I'm going to answer your question, but here's the thing. I described the first, you know, quarter or so of my life. There's a whole rest of some more stuff that still deals with more loss. But let's just go back to that first quarter of my life, or first few years of my life, right? So loss, grief, all those things. And I explained to you my journal and how it became my outlet. It became my friend. It became my survival. Because again, hear me, I was finding myself fighting. I was finding myself, I was just angry. Statistically, when you think about risk factors, all the things, single parent, loss of no father, no mother, these are orphan. I was considered a ward of the state. These are
Right.
things that contribute to, these are risk factors leading to poverty, drug use, teenage pregnancy, mental health disabilities. 1 in 5 individuals who have lost their parents, according to the Journal of Psychology, Psychology and Psychiatry, say that you're likely to develop some kind of psychiatric
Mental illness. Yeah.
mental illness. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And my,
Yeah.
my mother and my mother did contend with mental illness. Uh,
Yeah.
Another type of loss growing up as a kid, not having a fully present mom. All these different things. So at that point, poetry or journaling was for me. It was for me. It wasn't for me to read to the masses in a reading. It wasn't me to say, hey, grandma, look at what I wrote. It was strictly for me and no one else, just for me. So what happened, there was a transition at some point where, you know, you dare to share something with someone. You
Yeah.
dare to read something to someone and say, and that's very, very scary, right?
It's extremely scary. It's extremely scary. And I even want to, I specifically wanted to talk about this at this time because I want to put it into context. I can relate to this in a very, very personal way because grief and loss and dying, particularly during this time of COVID, it's been a lot of death. There's been a lot of loss, not just death. There's been a loss of jobs, a
Yes.
loss of relationships, a lot of transitioning which is is a type of loss, a
Yes.
lot of divorce, a type of loss, a lot of relationship changes, a type of loss, a lot of things changing and shifting in jobs, a type of loss. There's been a lot of loss just happening in this country. Political changes, loss.
Leadership.
There's just having face to face educational learning to now virtual learning, another type of loss, right? They're going from social interaction to now this virtual interaction. Now the norm has shifted to now this virtual social dynamic, right? Now that's the new social norm, right? Has shifted. Everything is now, so you're in the midst of, you're grieving all of these losses. And one of the things that I am suggesting by doing this show, and I want to make it very clear, that one of the coping the mechanisms that I'm suggesting
Most definitely.
as an alternative is the ability to write, is the ability to adjust through writing,
Yeah.
through poetry, is to get it out, using your emotions through writing, through getting a journal and getting it out, through the expression of writing. I know that we've gotten away from writing now. We do a lot of verbal spitting on Facebook, right?
Mhm.
But I'm not talking about that way because, in my opinion, a lot of that is really unhealthy. But I'm talking about the way that you're presenting it, right, in a very healthy, sacred space, right, where it's possibly meditative,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
where you're able to get off by yourself and say, hey, this is what's going on. This is how I feel. I need to just be able to express myself. And even possibly at some point, maybe even turn it into something that could even bring you money.
Right.
Okay. But be able to write and turn your pain into something that could possibly, you know what I'm saying, become something that's monetary in the end. And I don't see enough of us, this creative expression. This is something that has become a lifesaver for me. When
Yeah.
my dad died, I have tons of journals. And I've already instructed my family that if I die before any of them, I told them I don't want them read my journals.
Yeah.
I don't. I feel like you feel as far as my journals. My journals are sacred to me.
Yeah.
And the things that I want public, I will say public. The rest of it, when I die, they die.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
really mean that. Because it's that's how I feel
Right.
about
And
my, you
right. And
know.
I and that's where I was, at a particular time. And that very well may be, like you said, what needs to be. What did happen for me though is, because we talk about pain and turning it to something I use the word productive, and then there is the monetary implication. But quite honestly, for me, beyond the monetary implication, what happened for me is at some point, and I don't remember the specifics, but sharing it something with someone, and them responding to say, "Wow, you captured exactly what I was feeling. Wow, I feel better. You know what? I was going to harm myself until I
That is
read
great.
this."
That's
And
great that
so,
that's where you are with that. That's great.
what happened for me at some point is that I understood and recognized that it wasn't just for me.
Right.
That
That's great.
what we experience can have implications for someone else's healing, freedom,
Yeah.
breakthrough.
Right.
So the vulnerability,
Right.
right?
Right. I know. I totally agree. Just some stuff I don't want. Some stuff. some some stuff. Some stuff, Dinosaur, I ain't there yet. Some stuff is like, mm-mm.
And yeah, it's a few of that stuff for me too. But
Now, but there's a lot of stuff I totally agree with you on. Totally agree. I totally, because there's so much that people can benefit and will benefit from, and I agree with you. Writing has helped me to find my voice, and for so many, I believe that it's an opportunity to find their voice.
yeah, I say this about that. People ask me that a lot. And I talk about using writing to help find your voice, which or to allow your voice to be heard. And I'm going to go back here to kind of make the connection. As a child who you may not feel like you have a safe space, or even
Mhm.
as an adult, because it's not, I'm just using that example. That's that former part of my life. Not having what you may consider a safe space to be uninhibited who you are, even if it's in that moment who you are.
Right.
We're not even allowed to have moments. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was explaining to you. I had a moment, and I was reprimanded. So what happens to a individual, child or adult, when they need a safe space and it's not welcomed? You quiet yourself. You go back to the controlled,
Yes.
the water control. That control. The dam is not breaking. You're back into that control space, and there's a quieting. There's a squelching of your voice. You
Yeah.
don't feel safe, so you
Right.
don't speak. You're quiet. And that's
Right.
where I was for so long. I was quiet, spiritually or internal. I didn't have a place, because if I spoke what I was feeling, there would be reprimand, there'd be a negative response, no safe space. Consequently, writing, even if it was quietly in my journal, gave me a voice. I could be heard by who? The pages of my journal. And what would the pages of my journal do? Accept it,
Right.
tell me to come back tomorrow and write some more. You're still welcome here.
Yeah, be there.
Be. And so writing, yes, most definitely gives you voice. You can express and be who you are, whether that's in that moment or who you've been trying to let it go, let it be there, and find that freedom, there.
I love it. This is so good. This is so good. So this is so good.
So,
I would
yeah.
like for you to lead us into an exercise.
Oh
I
Lord.
want you to help us to make the connection like you did.
Sure. Okay, this is going to be interesting, but let's try it. For those who are watching, I wish I could see some names and stuff like that, but
Okay, let's get them engaged. So for those of y'all that's out there, can y'all give us some say hello? Don't have me calling people's names, because I will. Because I'll call your name. Can y'all let us know you out there? We're gonna do an activity, an exercise. I'm
yes.
already upset because y'all didn't tell me my Jill Scott didn't play tonight.
Let
I'm
it
not
go, y'all.
forgiving.
Let it go. Write it out. Write it out. Write it out.
I'm not forgiving. Put your name in the chat and tell me you here.
Yeah, let's who's out there. Who is out there?
Who's in the house? Tell me who's out here. My mama here. Miss
Hey,
Evelyn here. You think you might try joining? Hey, Miss Deborah. Okay, you out there. We're about to do an exercise. Stay on out there. Get your pen and paper out. We getting ready to do an exercise. Get your pen and paper.
and your
We
paper.
doing an exercise. We gonna do an exercise. Pen and paper. Ain't Miss Dynasty cute, y'all? Miss Cayenne. And I'm gonna try to get her to do a. She didn't know I was gonna do this. I'm gonna try to get her to do a poetry number for me. She probably knew about a spirit. The spirit probably told her.
Yeah. Yeah, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Let's see what we can do.
AKA Evelyn. Who else out there? Crystal, you still out there? Crystal's here. Yes, Crystal in the house. Teresa, you there? Teresa in the house. Who else there? Who else is in the house? We got you see. I know it's more people. They just don't want to put their name because it's more people that I see you out there watching because you're saying, oh boy, it's not going to be a bad exercise at all. Now I can see y'all being concerned from the other week. Dynasty, I can't get Dynasty to do a bad one.
You know what?
Good.
Do a bad one.
All right, this exercise is gonna be easy.
Yes, it's really
It's
simple.
easy.
It's going to cause you to have to go back in your memory a little bit.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go back in your memory a little bit, but it's gonna be easy.
Okay.
Let me see one more person, and then we're gonna get started. One more person. One more person's name, and then we're gonna get started on this exercise.
You're so crazy.
One more person's name, and then we're gonna get started. Dynasty, where your people at?
That's what I'm wondering too. I mean, I've been.
Where your people?
You know where the people at?
Your people might be tired.
Yeah, they may be tired.
They be supporting you. Dynasty is famous. You got to give us your all your information too.
Let me tell you how the Jill Scott intro that no one saw, but we jammed to. I was looking at the pictures and I was like, I'm over here hanging out with a little superstar over here. All these wonderful stage pictures of you just center stage. I was like, oh Lord, I'm over here with the superstar.
No.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Y'all ready? Come on. Y'all ready?
Okay. Yeah, okay. we ain't got one more person. It's okay. Go ahead. Okay, we're about to get started. Go ahead, Dynasty.
All right. So listen. You can use a piece of paper, a scrap piece of paper, and a pen or pencil. Just try it. For those who are listening and watching, don't be a Scrooge. Just get your paper and your pencil, or use your phone if you have a second, or tablet, and use your thumbs. Type it up. Here's what I want us to do. Okay, I want you to think about your toy collection when you were younger. Let's say 10 or under. Your toy collection. Think about one of your most favorite toys. I'm sure you had more than one favorite toy, but try to pick out one. Was it a car, a doll, a puzzle for the nerdy kids. Whatever it was, think about it. Go back, reflect, think about it, get it in your mind. And I will say this, whatever first comes to your mind, go ahead and stay there. Don't try to find something different. If something came to your mind immediately, stop right there. That's it. Use that toy, that object, favorite, most adored piece. And think about it. Maybe you actually did lose it at one point, or maybe you didn't. Think about what it felt like when you maybe thought you lost it or you did lose it. Think about how it would have felt like if you lost it, if it was taken from you. Just think about what it would feel like if that favorite toy was no longer with you. Whether it happened for real or you have to imagine it, think about what that would feel like. Not just, in your mind, how it would feel like, but how would it feel like with your hands? How would it look like? What would it taste like? What would it smell like? I want you to think about the feeling of that lost toy through the medium of your senses, which requires you to kind of go deeper than, oh, I felt sad. Duh. I want you to think about how that would feel like through the senses, which requires you to be a little bit imaginative. There is absolutely no wrong answer. There's absolutely no wrong feeling or sight or smell. It's how you would imagine your lost Raggedy Ann doll, how it would smell, how it would look like, how it would feel to you in your sense of touch, how it would sound. Does everyone kind of have that? You don't have to do all 5 senses. Try to do at least 1 to 3 of the senses and express in a simple sentence how the feeling of that lost favorite toy comes through your senses. Think about it. We'll take another, 90 seconds, a minute and a half. Doesn't have to be long. Okay. How we doing? I hope you guys participated and tried it.
I did. I participated.
Yes, I would hope the host would participate. Oh,
Y'all listen, I'm being like pushy, saying y'all better. No, I hope you participated too.
Yeah, I do. I hope so too. Okay.
Do you want me to share mine since we're on live?
Yeah, we can share ours. Pens down, pens down. Ask, did anybody do it? Like, can you raise your hands in the comments? Did anybody do it?
Did anybody do it and willing to share in the comment section? It would be great if we had a volunteer or two to share. Let's see if somebody shares, and then we will share ours. Are we actually sharing them here? If you don't mind, Miss Evelyn, if someone would be willing to share.
That'd be awesome.
I'm going to share mine.
Yeah, we're going to share ours. Did we get a yes in there? Sound like
yeah, Crystal says she'll share. Yes, she participated. So, Crystal, can you share yours, please?
If it's too long, maybe she can can he post a picture of it? I don't know. If they don't want to retype it or, type it.
Yes. Okay. Y'all just share them in the comment section. So, what was your favorite? What was your favorite toy? And then two or three sentences, and then your statement or your sentence.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for participating. 4 people, 3 people participated.
Oh, awesome. Oh man, I wish I could see it.
You can't see the comments? You
No,
should be able to see the comments. You can't see them?
no, it's nothing on my.
Anissa?
Nope.
If you were on YouTube, you'd be able to see them like last week's guest or a week before last
Yeah.
week's guest.
If I was on YouTube, how would I be on YouTube?
Well, on my page. On my page.
Okay. What's the favorite toy?
They getting ready to post it. They posting. They getting ready. Patience, my darling.
Okay.
Patience, my
Oh,
darling.
I thought you were gonna walk them through like just just have the conversation. What's your favorite toy? And they can put the answer in. And how did it smell like? To make
Okay. So what's your favorite toy? What was your favorite toy? What was your favorite toy? You have to give us a poetry piece. Just it doesn't have to be long, Dynasty. Just a short one. It can be a very short one. Just a short one. Did you not think I was going to ask you?
I didn't say anything. Okay.
Short one.
Okay. So
That's okay. Her favorite toy was a black doll. Okay, two of the senses. When you lost your black doll, how did you experience that loss through two of your senses? Okay, Evelyn said she had a raggedy doll. When she grew more raggedy each passing day, it felt like her best friend was taken away. She could taste the disappointment on her soul.
uh,
I once had a raggedy doll. She wrote a poem. It was like a poem. Okay. Oh, Crystal
did
had
you read
Cabbage
it? Are
Patch
you reading the
doll.
whole piece?
Huh?
Are you perusing it or did you read the whole thing?
I read the whole thing.
Oh, okay. You
No, I
kind of
read the whole thing.
okay.
I wouldn't do that. I read the whole thing.
Okay, you kind of rushed to the ending part. What was the last line?
Oh, I once had a raggedy baby doll. What I said? That
Oh,
was
okay. Yeah, it was okay. I didn't hear you. You kind of rushed through it. Okay, and Crystal said what?
Oh, Cabbage
Oh,
Patch doll.
okay. Oh, we have dolls. I had a
I
cabbage.
had a Cabbage Patch doll. Everybody said a doll. I said a Cabbage Patch doll too. Okay. Deborah Terry says smell was roses fading. Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Awesome.
Okay. So her favorite toy was a black doll. Smell was roses fading. Crystal said smell of vanilla. She smelled the vanilla.
Okay. Awesome. 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 So,
And Deborah said taste of rose crumbling. Wow.
mm, wow.
That's real creative.
Exactly. And so while they're still writing, because you know, what happens here in this process, you can see adults are benefiting, and of course, children can too. This is probably one of my first reflective writing exercises that I received and I was in elementary school. It was very reflective. I told you I had difficulty expressing emotion because it wasn't welcome. And I remember the first reflective writing poem, if you will, was a prompt to write about an emotion through your five senses. And I wrote about anger because I wasn't able to express it. And it was a non-threatening way to express what was happening. And you can get to become a little bit more aware of what's happening inside without you breaking down on a therapist couch, right? And you can have that self-awareness and that aha moment and have the safe space to express it. And then on top of that, what I'm hearing is a lot of creativity, rows crumbling and things like that. So then now you create something, a masterpiece of sorts.
Yeah, my mom said Chatty Cathy doll. Wow, and all of the women had the huh?
Go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was just saying all of the women had dolls. Mine was a Cabbage Patch Kid. Mine was not creative.
You gonna read it?
Yeah, sure. Mine said taste sour, smell like hot dogs.
Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. The funniest thing is you sat over there like, ooh, ooh. like like you going deep and under.
No.
Just say, I can't even. What can I can't even. What in the world? Oh my goodness.
And you don't even want to know what my sentence. My sentence said, "I am not as responsible as I thought." Sentence.
Alrighty then.
Oh God! And Evelyn said, I thought mom was bad." No, God.
So as a facilitator of reflective and cathartic writing, what I would probably do with that, right, is I would encourage you to dig a little deeper. Like
Of course.
you know, which
Right.
which is still a part of the cathartic process.
Right.
Because you have to remember, you are so silly. You have to remember it's layers and tiers and place to place. And so a lot of times, particularly for people who may be new to this thing called writing and using it as an outlet, when they get a direction, they're still very surface. They're still very surface. Oh, it felt hard. It felt soft. It smelled like, and that's fine. That's where you are. You're starting the process. But for something like that, I would like, okay, we got you. Giggle, 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 giggle.
Right. Well, they said they needed that laugh dinosaur.
Yes, we all needed it. We all lost our coos on that one. I couldn't even give you. I don't know. That would have been the end of our class, right there. But
that's what came to me, though. I tried not to write it down, but I didn't want to also make something that I followed my gut.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Smell like hot dogs. Oh my God. Did you eat hot dogs when you had that Cabbage Patch doll or something?
I ate hot dogs when I was younger.
Did you eat hot dogs while you held that doll?
I must.
You probably fed the Cabbage Patch. Come on, you want to eat your hot dog? Smashed it all over the baby.
I don't even eat hot dogs now. Do you hear me? I would never eat hot dogs right now. I don't even know where that came from. Something happened.
Yeah, you
Oh
smashed.
no, now I need to go see my therapist. What?
Gosh. Oh my gosh.
Kind of stuff. I'm sorry. My bad.
Mm. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus. They said I'm hungry. This
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. She said smell out. Anyway, I didn't have a baby doll.
you didn't really?
Mm-mm. I mean, I
So
had another.
everybody is saying baby doll and you didn't have one.
I had a baby. I had baby dolls, but I didn't use that
Oh,
as a toy.
wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't. I didn't use that as my toy. So I think we good with your hot dog. We ain't got to go no further. But
oh, oh.
oh my gosh.
Well, listen, this is so good. You have to, okay, you have to come back. I say that to every guest because I really mean it. I'm gonna put everybody on rotations.
Yeah, because it's a. I would love to come back just because, there's so much, even more to even talk about
To
as it relates.
unpack. It really is.
It's a lot
It
to
really
unpack.
is.
Right, right.
It is. It is. And I want to talk. I want to talk more about creative arts and just grief and loss for real,
Yeah,
and how they intersect. Seriously, there's research. I did a paper on it,
yeah,
and particularly with like teens and stuff. We both work with youth,
yeah,
and
definitely.
and how it connects with youth.
Yeah.
They're saying please come back.
Oh,
And
certainly.
they said they're still laughing at me, but they said please come back.
Yeah, certainly. If if Lady J will have me, I will
I
certainly.
will definitely have you back. Can you please tell them how to get you? You do coaching, you do consultations. Tell them what you do. Tell them all the services that you provide.
So, Cayenne Ink Healing in the Pen, as Sarah stated earlier, is what I like to call a poetry biz. What we do at Cayenne Ink is to promote hope, healing, and social change through poetry, through creative writing, through creative expression. Specifically through spoken word. I'm a spoken word artist. You can procure me to come to your event or private or public event, and I'll hopefully, prayerfully share some poetry that is hope filled, provoking, and maybe cause some change. We also do that through products that I call them poetic products. I have a t-shirt product line called, well, not t-shirts, it's a product line called Tangible Things. I have my mug, but it's outside the frame. And so,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Everybody's saying please come back down. So you don't have your mug. I have to order your mug. What's your give me your store website so I can put it in the comment section.
shop dash cayenne, it's kind of long, dash ink
Wait a minute. Cayenne.
dash ink at shopify.com. I believe that should be what it is.
At
Or is it dot Shopify? Hold on. That's no, it's dot Shopify. Because that's at as an email. So
wait
let's
a minute. Give it to me again.
shop dash cayenne ink cayenne rather dash ink uh
Uh-huh.
dot myshopify.com.
Oh, you didn't say that. At
Yeah, I said at. It's supposed to be dot.
at my
No, listen, Linda. It's a website, so it's dot myshopify.com. So shop dash cayenne dash ink dot myshopify.com. We got t-shirts, mugs, sweatshirts, perfect for the winter, perfect gifts, birthday gifts. We have another shirt coming out to add to that line, and it's specifically for women empowerment. That next piece that's coming out, so we'll keep you posted. www.cayenneink.com website,
and it's on Cayenne Inc. And it's on that website though too, right?
Mm-hmm. You
All right.
get a link. You can go right to the website, to the
All right.
shop.
In case I thought I think I got it right, but just in case I got it wrong, it's on the website too.
Yeah, it's on the website.
All right. I put all your information in the comment section.
Awesome sauce. Most definitely. I'm also, many of you, I was loving what I was hearing over there. So come on and join my Facebook group called Writers, Poets, and Creative Scribblers.
Writers, poets, and creative scribblers.
Yes, that's my Facebook group. Just go ahead and request be in there. It's a creative person's or creatives playground. It's not just poetry. If you have an imagination or want to keep your, creative muscle strong, prompts, intellectual conversations, stimulating conversations, share your business ideas as well to kind of promote yourself. It's a nice platform for creatives. And you get first dibs on what's going on with Cayenne by being in the group too.
Yes. Will you close us out in a little? Do you have just a small piece? You don't even have to do a whole poem. Just a little one. Just a little itty bitty one.
What in the world? I don't listen. Let me tell you.
If you don't, it's fine. If you don't, it's fine.
After I found my voice, I don't squelch. I don't have no little bitty any. Nothing I do is little bitty itty. See, now you're rolling your eyes at a sister. Can I just do a poem? It's not long. Can I just do the poem?
Okay. I just didn't want you to feel like you had to.
I don't really do long poems anyway. I don't feel so well. My heart is heavy and my soul don't know that it indeed will be all right. There's a dagger of disappointment dangling from my right shoulder blade, arms too fat to reach around and pull it out, pain too real to pretend it away. And my eyes are bag holders filled with last night's tears. And my cheeks are round rocks flowed upon by today's new tears. The pain of fear ballooned my ankles, swollen from standing too long, toes too afraid to wiggle in the sand, and my stomach, it flips and turns. It flips and turns. It flips and turns like a Ritalin-deprived breakdancer, and the room is spinning like records on a turntable manipulated by life. The DJ. Woo! I need to take a seat. No water or cold compress needed here. Just give me a pen with a permeable surface, and I'll write this pain away. I'll write the dagger right out of my back. And with my pen, I'll drain bags filled with wet hopes and soggy dreams. And from my ducts will flow poetry that liberates and sets the captives free. Yes, even me. I'll elevate my legs on metaphors and monologues, redirecting subtle blood from my ankles into my legs, from my legs into my thighs, from my thighs into my buttocks, through my torso, in my spine, to my brain, back down again, and into my arms, into my fingers, my pen gripping fingers. Give me a pen, and I'll write this pain away.
Thank you, Ms. Cayenne. Thank you for joining us and gracing us with your presence. Remember, you all, to like, share, subscribe. Weekly Dose of Lady J, to live out loud, to live out love. Hashtag living in healing in the pen. What's your hashtags, Miss Cayenne?
Yeah, I'm a poet and I know it. Healing in the pen. Do the right thing. WRITE. It's
And I
time.
love you guys.
Love you.
Yeah. Love you. Thank you so much. And I'll see you all. If not next week, y'all be flexible with me. If not next week, I'll see you week after next. All right. Bye bye.
Bye.